What is up, everybody? Love that fancy opening right there. Welcome to Card Art Explained #1. We've got a live artist spotlight tonight. Let me introduce the guy who's responsible for this and running the whole show. My co-pilot, Luis Alonso himself, Alonso Collectibles. What's going on?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Fantastic. Getting all this tech stuff down.
Yeah, no doubt. Good evening, everybody, man. Appreciate you coming through and hanging out with us tonight. It's going to be a special stream. We have a magnificent artist that's going to be hanging out with us tonight. We got some collectors that have some of his art. We're going to look at, as always, we're going to look at some of the pieces that we own in our collections of Nahuel's. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a special stream.
Yeah. And thanks to everybody who's already here in chat. #1 Marvel fan, Mr. Easy Go Lucky, Murdoch, welcome. Why don't we bring in our guest first or our artist?
Let's bring in, I'll leave that, dude, I don't even know, bro. I'll leave that up to you, man.
All right, well, let's bring in.
We could bring in Pat if you want first.
And there he is. Look at that.
Evening, gentlemen.
What's up, Pat? How you doing, brother?
All right.
And let me get some. Don't mind me trying to get all the names right. Anyways, I'll deal with technical stuff. And then we also have the man of the hour himself.
The man of the hour.
Mr. Nahuel Grego. Welcome.
Well, Grego, what
Hello,
up, baby?
everybody. Hello. Do you listen to me?
Yep.
Yeah. Perfecto, Nahuel.
But, no puedo escuchar a Luis y a Patrick. No sé por qué.
What?
¿Tú me puedes escuchar? ¿Tú no me oyes?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear.
He said he can't hear me or Pat, but he can hear you.
I'm not sure. No, if I need to touch.
You can only hear me?
Yes, only you.
Oh, all right then. That's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Chat. Can chat? Can you guys hear all three of us?
Now, wait, tell him to. Ahora.
Oh, now, yes. Ahora sí.
Okay. Perfect.
No sé what happened. Well, okay. Good.
So guys, yeah, so pretty much there's going to be a language barrier. Nahuel speaks Spanish, a little bit of English, understands it a little bit. So I'm going to be translating back and forth the best of my ability, which we knock it out pretty well. So tonight we have Nahuel Grego, amazing artist. He is the artist for the newest and the last Upper Deck Marvel Masterpiece set that released. I mean, what was that, earlier this year? Or was it earlier this year? Yeah, earlier this year. So we have him here. We own some of his pieces, some really nice pieces. So it's going to be fun. My buddy down at the bottom, Patrick Johnson, real good homie in the community, good friend, good, solid dude. He's got some incredible art from the set. And one of the biggest, I'd probably say, can argue top two piece of the set, no question. And it's a special one. It's a character a lot of us enjoy. So really looking forward to that. And we're just gonna kick it here. If you guys in the chat have some questions for the artist, I will relay it to him in Spanish, and then I will relay back to you guys his answer. So it's just gonna be cool, real fun stream. Just pretty much the focus of these shows are to showcase the artist's art through different collectors' collections. You know what I mean? So it's real cool to look at different images of art of an artist's art from across different publications and so on. But I think it's even more special when you can have the collectors that that went out of the way, put their hard-earned money, belief, and trust into the artist's art, and we get to show the pieces that we chose from the set. I love that about these type of shows, and we're going to start bringing these type of shows now to CAF Plus, thanks to Kazo, Matt Fuller, Bill, all the homies. So I'm really excited to be able to continue to bring these segments doing these now with you guys on Cap Plus.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Builder 101.
Patrick Klinger.
Un amigo abrió un par de cajas de tu set, Nahuel, y sacó el Gold Doc Ock 1 de 1, el aro.
¿De qué personaje?
Doc Ock, Doc Octopus.
Ah, Doc. Wow, espectacular, espectacular.
Sí, hace como media hora.
¿Cómo?
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Espectacular. Bueno, no debe ser fácil conseguir, que te toque eso.
No,
¿sí?
no. The 101s son difíciles. Yeah, pulling 101s is tough.
Yeah.
Tal cual, tal cual.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's start. Does anybody in the chat have any questions for Nahuel before we start showing some of the art pieces that we own? I can't see the chat, Matt. So
Yep, I'll put everything up when it comes.
yeah, no doubt. Matt, I know you said you had a couple. I remember we were chatting earlier. You had a couple questions that you wanted to ask Nahuel for the stream. Do you have those handy on you?
I got a couple.
Cool.
You know, they're kind of all over the place, but how about this? You know, now that he's done some Marvel card sets, what would be his dream project? Whether it's more superheroes or it's some other property, something like that.
I like that. So, Nahuel, me quería saber una pregunta. Ahora que ya tú has terminado con el Marvel Masterpieces y que es una cosa bien grande que hiciste, una cosa maravillosa, ¿qué sería un sueño tuyo de hacer ahora después de lo de Masterpieces? Para un IP que quisieras hacer arte, un proyecto que tú quisieras hacer como tú sabes, como un sueño tuyo que tú tendrías.
La verdad es que después de Marvel Masterpieces siento que fue un disparador como para empezar a hacerme un poco más conocido y yo digo que lo que más deseo es disfrutar cada vez más de esto y de perfeccionarme cada vez más. Estoy muy contento ahora con el tema de las comisiones, por ejemplo, que me están pidiendo y que estoy pudiendo dedicarle más tiempo y hay un poquito más de libertad también a la hora de crear. Simplemente, no sé si hay un objetivo. Sí, me encanta el tema, obviamente, superhéroes, todo lo que está relacionado es lo que más me gusta hacer. Pero no sé si hay algo específico que dijera, bueno, tengo ese objetivo. Yo por el momento es, sabiendo que ahora hay más gente que me conoce, poder explotar eso y poder darme a conocer un poquito más. O sea, y mostrar todo lo que puedo hacer, que quizás en Marvel Masterpieces, como era una gran cantidad de cosas que me pidieron, era difícil abocarme demasiado a cada una de las piezas.
Sí. So pretty much what he said that he doesn't have nothing like super specific that, that he would like to do, but he definitely wants to continue to working with superheroes, painting superheroes. He said he loves working with, like the comic art stuff, DC, Marvels, just anything superheroes. He wants to work with that. He's just super excited of the opportunity, what it did for him and his career, for people to know more about it, to get more exposure in the community and in the art space. So he's just very thankful for that. He's been getting busy with commissions and starting to focus on that and having a little bit more freedom instead of having to be locked down, knocking out, 100 plus pieces. So yeah, he said he doesn't have nothing like any dream job in particular. He just wants to continue to work on superheroes and stuff. So it's cool.
One of my follow-up was going to be, although he sort of answered it since he doesn't have a dream job, but going even back as far as his childhood, is there one, like if he could do a book cover for a book that he loved, what would that be?
Like an old school comic? Like an old school comic?
No, even like a book. Like Dan did the Brandon Sanderson Stormlight Archive, for example. Is there some book series, whether it's Lord of the Rings or something like that, if he could just had the golden pen and he could work on do a book cover for any book he's ever read or loved?
Dice que si tú podrías hacer una pintura para algún libro que a ti te ha gustado de muchacho o algo ahora que tú quisieras decir, oye, tienes la oportunidad de hacer la pintura para este libro, que fuera un libro que tú escogieras.
De cómic, digamos,
Puede
o
ser de
libro.
cómics o un libro, lo que sea.
Could be a romance novel, whatever.
Sí.
We don't judge.
Okay. Bueno, no soy un gran lector de libros y de cómics, bastante más, digamos, pero tampoco, o sea, me dediqué demasiado a la lectura. Realmente soy más de ilustrar y quizás mi fanatismo va más que nada por el lado de personajes como Alien, y bueno, hacer una tapa de un cómic de Alien estaría espectacular, o sea, me encantaría hacer ilustraciones de ese personaje.
Yeah.
Pero sí, principalmente de eso. No sé,
Yeah.
no, en este momento en mente no tengo otra cosa, pero sí. Yo diría
Esa respuesta está buena. Esa respuesta está perfecto. He said he would love to work on an aliens comic book, like the movies, Sigourney Weaver and everything. Yeah, he's a big alien guy, so that would be something he would love to do.
Little H.R. Geiger influence, very nice.
Yeah.
Pat, you have any questions for him, man? I would love to give you a little bit of the spotlight here. And you have any questions for Nahuel? Anything you want to ask?
I actually do. A lot of times when we think of comic book artists, we pigeonhole them into comics. And we think all they do is comics. And we've seen, like with Boris and artists, they migrate. What got him started, actually? Was there one project where it just clicked for him and he said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? What was that one piece that set him on his path?
Patrick quiere saber, cuando tú empezaste, antes de tú empezar haciendo arte y convirtiendo el arte en una profesión suya, él quiere saber cuál fue la pintura que tú hiciste o el dibujo o la pintura que tú hiciste, que tú dijiste, tú sabes que esto es lo que yo quiero hacer por el resto de mi vida. Yo quiero pintar personajes de los cómics.
No, bueno, eso desde muy chiquito. Desde muy chiquito, o sea, mi vieja me daba un lápiz y un papel para entretenerme, pero esto desde los 4 años, y lo tengo tan incorporado que no es que dije, listo, voy por este camino. No, es algo que se dio naturalmente y que fue, nada, un proceso natural. Empecé obviamente a consumir cómics, o sea, los primeros cómics que tuve me inspiraban muchísimo y empezaba a admirar a ciertos dibujantes. Y bueno,
¿Cuántos años tuviste cuando eso empezó, Nahuel?
Y 8 años más o menos, un poco menos, quizás 7 probablemente. Me acuerdo que estaba enfermo en ese momento y como premio me dieron, como para entretenerme porque estaba en cama, me dieron un cómic para leer y bueno, y ahí...
So, a los 8 años. So, Pat, so pretty much it started since he was a kid. As a kid, he got comics probably when he was around 8 years old. It started, and his mom would give him a pencil and paper, and he would just draw. And around 8 years old, he started getting comics and started wanting to draw them and get inspired by the different artists on the way they drew them. So that's pretty. He doesn't necessarily have like one particular like piece that like set him on that course. It started since he was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Picking up a comic book, opening it, and getting, wow, you know? So.
Sí, simplemente después fui buscando una beta en la que podría trabajar de esto y se dio, bueno, mucho tiempo después eso, pero en cierto momento era como investigar y ver qué era lo que me podía llegar a dar esa oportunidad, esa posibilidad. Y bueno, ahí fue cuando me metí más en el mundo del cómic.
Okay.
O sea, entendí que junto con mis amigos también, que bueno, como que en varias oportunidades mencionaban esto de los cómics, y que, bueno, se pagaba bien por páginas y uno ya trabajaba de manera profesional. Nada, decidí inclinarme por ese lado y me dio una buena enseñanza y una buena base, yo creo, de dibujo de ese estilo. O sea, como que tirando más para el estilo de los cómics. No tanto para la ilustración, pero
Déjame hacerte
bueno,
una pregunta, Nahuel.
sí,
Y vamos a tener que hablar en secciones más cortas para yo poder traducir también.
obvio.
Yo te voy a hacer una pregunta bien fácil. ¿Cuál fue la primera pintura que tú hiciste, que tú mandaste a Upper Deck? Ellos te autorizaron a empezar a trabajar con ellos. ¿Te recuerdas?
La primera pintura, ¿querés traducir tu pregunta para que entiendan?
So pretty much what I'm asking him, Pat. So, I think this is probably, we got to where he started as a kid. I just asked him a question. What was his first piece that he sent into Upper Deck that they accepted him to be on board to work with them and work on projects with them? So that's the question I just asked him.
Estoy tratando de hacer memoria, pero realmente
Bueno, la
fue
serie, vamos a ver, no sé si no le mandaste un grupo de pinturas o...
sí, sí, sí. Yo le mandé pinturas que hice de manera personal, no algo que haya hecho específico para otra cosa, o para covers o lo que sea. Eran pinturas que hice como fan art, si se quiere.
No, sí, de superhéroe, ¿verdad? De los...
Superhéroes, sí,
He
obvio,
said
sí,
that
sí, claro.
he put together like a small portfolio of different pieces that at the time was like fan art, you know what I mean? Stuff that he was working on, and he sent them in, and that's when Upper Deck authorized. But he doesn't have the images. I don't think he has the images off the top of his head right now, but I'm sure. ¿Tú tienes las imágenes de las pinturas esas, Nahuel, o eso va a tener, eso toma tiempo de buscarlo?
Puede ser que lo encuentre en algún mail, eso, pero puede ser
Eso
que
toma
tome
tiempo. No te preocupes, eso tomaría tiempo. He said he could find them through the emails, but it would take some time. I think that would be cool to see those down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Include those in the coffee table book when it comes out.
Sí, yeah. Hace falta un libro del set tuyo, Nahuel. Hacer un
Wow.
libro con todas las pinturas, tiene que hacerlo.
Oh, eso sería genial. La verdad que no se me ha ocurrido. Está buenísimo.
Sí, yeah. I told him he needs to make a book for his set.
We should explain to him how crazy we are as collectors, right? That some of us asked for like the painting brushes that were used or the little figures.
Oh,
like,
dude.
Make sure he knows the level of insanity.
I'm guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Quick story, we were at, went to Dan's house, Dan Dos Santos, the 2022 artist. And I asked him, I was like, Dan, what do you, he has like all the different reference figures. And I was like, bro, which is the one you use the most? And he's like, that one. I'm like, bro, I need that off you. He's like, I'll let you know if I can, I'll let you know if I let it go. And he reaches out to me a couple weeks later. He's like, bro, I actually broke the arm on it. I was like, bro, perfect. Send it to me. I'll send you a brand new figure. We'll do a swap. He was like, dude, great. Now I have a fixed figure that I can continue to use. So, yeah. Putting me out on the spot there, Matt. Thanks, man.
We're a crazy breed.
Dime, Nahuel.
Haciendo memoria, me acordé que además de esas piezas, yo mandé lo que yo había hecho previo a Marvel Masterpieces, que es todo el trabajo que yo hice antes para Upper Deck, que la verdad que no me acordé en el momento, pero yo había trabajado con lo que era Marvel Flare y lo que todavía no salió, que en realidad lo pusieron dentro de Marvel Masterpieces, pero era para un juego que yo había hecho esas.
Pero el juego nunca salió, so usaron el arte para el set.
Exactamente. Traducí eso,
so
si
pretty
querés,
much what he did was he did a lot of art for Upper Deck has this type of like Marvel trading card game. I think it's called, what is it, Matt? Legend, right?
There's Legendary,
Mhm.
card game. There's Snap, the digital game.
Yeah. This one was the Legendary. This is the Upper Deck trading card game. So he did a lot of work for different series in the past with them. So he sent all his body of work to send in the Upper Deck of all the different stuff that he had done with them previously, and the work from Flair to be able to get the shot to do the Marvel Masterpiece set. So he sent all that work over to them that he had with built up with Upper Deck, and that was another factor why they chose him for the set. And there were some pieces that he had done that were supposed to be in an upcoming Legendary set, but they canceled it. It never happened. So they ended up using that art in the Masterpiece set.
Okay.
Sí, el Legendary Second Edition se llama lo que está.
Nunca salió.
Nunca salió.
Yeah, he said it was supposed to be called Legendary Second Edition, and it never came out.
No, because they reused some of the Legendary for renditions. That's the one that had the Impel subset, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so they used some of the older ones for that. It's unfortunate they didn't use any of his. That's too bad.
Yeah. Well, it all worked out, right? Because
yeah,
they were able to put it there, and you know, it's at the end of the day, it's all, you know, it's going to be published art, and it wasn't going to be nothing else. So,
well, while
they were rushing at the end, man, to get it out. You know what I mean? So,
while we're talking card art, should we start showing a piece or two?
Matt, so, and this is great. I want to start with you because you have a painting of his that is pre-Marvel Masterpieces, which you own, which is stunning. Let's start with that one for so Nahuel, the most recent set before Marvel Masterpieces was Marvel Flair. And he did some amazing pieces, some of the Flairium art from that set. And that's how I became familiar with Nahuel's art, was from Flair. And this piece that Matt had is stunning. So,
wow. Thank you.
¿Tú te recuerdas esta pieza, Nahuel?
Sí, I remember. Yes.
Beautiful.
The frame is really good.
Yeah, the framing's very nice, Matt, he said.
Nice. Really.
Yeah, you can tell them how I usually go for mutants. So this is you can tell how much I like this since they're not mutants.
Sí, él dice que él colecciona mainly X-Men y los mutants. So cuando él vio la pieza esa, se enamoró y tuvo que comprarla.
Genial. Thank you.
And in fact, now, Lewis, I don't know if you remember, I actually have two from this set now.
I know you do. So can you give us a little rundown on how this piece came about?
It's
an achievement, right?
An achievement. I didn't get the achievement, though. I bought it from the person who got the achievement. But yeah, in order to get this piece, you had to combine a whole bunch of cards and collect a whole bunch of cards on EPAC. And the first people who did this achievement got a random painting from the set. And this was one of those. The guy who had it put it up for sale, and I jumped on it. Again, another non-mutant, but a character that I really just wanted to add.
Wow,
Galactus the Surfer. Yeah. That is awesome. So that, Matt, that is was that a card? That was one of the Flairium achievements, right? Was it an achievement Flairium, or was it one of the base Flairiums?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I feel like it may be one of the achievement Flairiums. Yeah. That's stunning, dude. That's so good.
Luis, ¿me podés traducir un poquito brevemente lo que dijo, más o menos?
Okay, so esta pieza, Nahuel, esta pieza era como un regalo que te da Upper Deck cuando compras bastante producto y completas un set y haces unas cosas que se llaman achievements, que en sí son, vamos a decir, como cada un obstáculo, vamos a decir. Cada obstáculo que tú pasas te dan un premio que nada más puedes escoger en el website de ellos. Habían varias pinturas de los Flareums de diferentes artistas que eran como premio de los primeros colectores que todos los diferentes obstáculos lo terminaron en completa. Entonces sí le regalaban una de las pinturas de los achievements.
And they were not easy.
So un colector hizo todas las obras que tenía que hacer para coger el premio que fue el arte y él lo puso en venta y cuando Matt lo vio, instantáneamente Matt lo compró.
Wow. Congratulations, Matt. Excellent.
Thank you.
That's a sweet one. That's a sweet one.
And then do you want me to pivot to Marvel?
Yeah, let's do it, bro. So, guys, it's going to be the first piece we show from Nahuel. This is from the new Marvel. So the first two pieces you saw were from the most latest Marvel Flair set by Upper Deck. Now we're getting into the Marvel Masterpiece paintings. And this first one is a stunner, man.
Yeah. So when all the pieces came out and when his art reps sent out those lists, there were a bunch that I liked, but there was one in particular, both just for the painting itself and also for the characters. You know, one of my goals is to get, at least one painting of all of the major mutants. And this one, I not only love the character, but to get multiple characters on one painting was just the chef's kiss. So, and to be able to get Lockheed and Juggernaut in the same painting, I mean,
dude, you killed 3 birds with one stone, bro. You changed it up, bro.
And I may have the only shot of Juggernaut's back in Marvel history.
Yes.
Which I absolutely love.
So Nahuel, él colecciona, nosotros coleccionamos diferentes personajes y tratamos de recoger piezas de diferentes personajes que nos interesa y así es como nosotros hacemos las colecciones de arte, ¿me entiendes? Como para este set, me hace falta un Spider-Man y para este set ahora me hace falta un Rogue o para, el próximo set me hace falta un Magneto para la colección, ¿me entiendes? So, para Matt, él comprando esta pintura, son 3 personajes que él no tenía en pintura, no tenía Juggernaut, no tenía Lockheed ni Kitty Pryde. So, con esta compra pudo completar 3 personajes en su colección con una pintura.
Excelente, encontró la oportunidad. No, yo realmente quiero decir que es espectacular lo que transmiten con todo esto, ¿no? Porque ver una pintura que hice, que, bueno, obviamente le puse todo el alma, todo lo que pude para hacer lo mejor posible. Y ver también el aprecio que le dan y ver marcado de esa manera tan hermosa, la verdad que es un halago enorme y me llena el corazón, la verdad, de emoción. Tanto a Matt, a vos, a Patrick, la verdad que a todos los que compraron el arte, pero agradecido infinitamente. Realmente es no solo en cuestión económica, sino es en emoción.
Correct. So he's saying that he loves seeing, a painting that he worked on and see it in the hands of another collector that's going to appreciate it and frame it and put it on their wall and collectors already said that fills him with, it's such a good vibe. He's super appreciative and definitely blessed by it. So he said it just makes him feel good, man. Makes him feel good to see people appreciating his art. And I think that's what I think most artists, all artists want that. And us as collectors, you know what I mean? Like putting the artist first is very, very important in this space. At least for me, I know for a lot of collectors watching and on the panel today. The artists are very important. Without them, man, we don't get to enjoy the art. And it's so whatever we can do to promote them and make their lives better. You know what I'm saying? And just show that appreciation and love for the art. It's very important. So
absolutely.
No doubt. So Pat, listen, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go next with you, because we recently have built a friendship. I'd say several months. I'd say probably our relationship probably started around OAX, right?
That night, yeah.
Yeah, that night that we did a bit, we did a big live stream on whatnot with Nahuel. We ripped the case of his product at OAX, and it was crazy. And I've seen doing all the breaks and being part of the other breaks from the other breakers on whatnot, being able to see a collector go, I mean, like just wild, all out, full throttle without even looking at the gas tank, at the gas gauge, and then to seeing him collect the character and the cards and go hard. Because trust me, with this character, you got to go hard.
Yep.
And then seeing him now own the art, to me, I love that one. That's pretty much how I started. Right, I started with the Marvel cards, and then when I saw the art side of it, I was like, man, this is where I want to be. And now, I collect Marvel cards 100%, but my main focus in collecting now is the published original art of the cards, of comic covers. I collect both art, comic book art, and card art. But just being able to see my man start from chasing the cards to now owning the art is super special. So I'm going to let Pat take it over and give us his how he started with it to where he's at now with, two of the biggest pieces in the set.
Well, I appreciate everything you said, and I'm glad I met you guys. And I've been collecting for a long time and decades. And there's a thing I say that 53-year-old me hates 13-year-old me for picking Wolverine as the PC. I started working in a local comic shop right in high school. And I remember, for those of you who are comic buffs, the 1988 4-issue Wolverine Frank Miller set. And at that point in time, Wolverine wasn't given a run. He was given a 4-issue set. And then later on in 88, we got a set. And a lot of the big deal with Wolverine was his cameos. And it was very hard running through like Daredevil 196 and Punisher War Journal 5 and 6. And, just every book that he was in, which wasn't his own IP book. And one of my dream books was always, of course, the Hulk 180 to 182 thing. And that was part of when I saw the art in the set, it reminded me a lot of the origin and the two characters side by side. So Alonzo, like you said, I've been chasing characters and breaks, and then I've been completing my rainbows. I back off. But with Wolverine being the main, that's the one I go hardest for. But I had to start just because of that Hulk 181. I had to have this. And, it's just a life's passion of me, 30, 40 years of collecting, one character. And you get your other pieces along the way. But as you know, I'm like a Wolverine ride or die guy. I don't interfere with other characters too much unless they're within the universe for some reason. And I was really thrilled to learn that I was getting this one. And then the chase started for the big boy. And, it is my prized possession at this moment. To me, he is my Spider-Man. But that is just the crown jewel in my collection. And I know Noel and I have emailed back and forth. And just to be able to own this, no, there's no words. And they're going off to the framers next week because I'm just not letting anybody frame these things. But the two of them side by side, and when I get that, I'm actually planning. There's a deal in the works now, hopefully, where I either get my 9.6 or my 9.8 181. This, is going to go on either side of them, and I just can't. There are no words.
So this is when 13-year-old you, in this case, is saying, "See, look what I did for you.
Look what I did for you." Yeah.
So let me translate some of that to Nahuel. Nahuel, so él, Patrick ya colectando Wolverine 30, 40 años desde muchacho. Y siempre para él era grande el primer comic con la batalla contra Hulk. So, él echando para adelante ahora, cuando salió el set, él empezó a coger Wolverine y Hulk en los breaks, ¿sabes? Cuando abrimos la tarjeta, gente comprando los personajes, abriendo el producto, como el stream que hicimos en OAX. Y él se emocionó que ahora él tiene la oportunidad de tener el Hulk y el Wolverine. Son las dos piezas que más importantes del set para él. Y una emoción súper grande para él, y él está súper orgulloso y contento de tenerlo.
Yo la verdad que con Patrick un agradecimiento eterno también. O sea, la verdad que me pone muy contento también que esas piezas hayan sido adquiridas por alguien que realmente lo aprecia y lo siente y lo quiere. En su momento también Patrick me mostró la cantidad de colección de las tarjetitas de Wolverine, y yo dije, bueno, realmente se lo merece, y estoy extremadamente contento con eso, y bueno, me alegra mucho hacer feliz a un coleccionista también. La verdad que es muy emocionante.
He says that he's very, very appreciative and very thankful, for all the support that you've given him. He's super happy that you have the pieces. He said that when he saw all the different cards that you were chasing, he saw you were really completing the set. He said that there shouldn't be another collector that owns these pieces. So super happy that you have them, man. He said makes him real happy to see his art going to the collections of collectors that are going to appreciate his art, for a long time, because at the end of the day, these pieces of art, this is their legacy. You know what I mean? And we're all going to be gone eventually, right? Like, that none of us are eternal, but this is the legacy they leave back, and that, for him being an artist, being able to have that is something special,
No, there's no words. I mean, I'm just so appreciative that he did this, and I'm so grateful that I have that.
Yeah. No. Can we look at that Wolverine again and just back it up just a little bit so we can see it one more time?
Absolutely.
It looks so good. Nahuel, de verdad que te botaste con ese. Esa pintura está bacán.
Genial, me alegro. Gracias, muchas gracias.
Yeah, piece is awesome, dude. Definitely one of the jewels of the set, no question.
It's the jewel, Alonzo. I'll argue with Shane on that all day long.
No, hey, listen. I like Wolverine. Don't get it twisted. I over the last few years of collecting art, I've gained a big appreciation for other characters. But Spidey's always going to be my number one, man. So it's hard. It's hard for me to go against the grain with Spidey. You know what I mean? So, but again, I think the Wolverine piece compared to the Spider-Man piece has a lot more detail going for it, just with all the trees and everything. Yeah. I think they're both great. I would say this. They're both number ones in the set. They're the top two pieces in the set. So you can argue 1A, 1B, that's whoever, that's for people to decide and have their opinions. But it's one of the top two pieces of the set. There's no question at all. It's a Grail piece.
Absolutely.
It's not easy to obtain Wolverine original paintings from any masterpiece set, man, because Wolverine and Spidey are the toughest ones to get, man, because they're just so expensive, dude, and everybody wants them.
Well, I'm going to be buried with it.
Hey.
Grave digging will make a comeback.
There you go.
So Matt, let me. I'm gonna show. I'm so unprepared. It's ridiculous. But let me find. So I want to show. I own from the set. I own one painting from the set, and I own a sketch card from the set. So I'm going to show the sketch card first. So, and for the people that don't know, Marvel Masterpiece in the set product, there's sketches. There's one-on-one sketch cards, original little pieces of art on a card, stock size, and pretty much all the modern masterpieces. There were different artists that did sketches in the product. There was numerous artists, numerous amount of sketches. So some of I'd say 2016, 2018, 2020, you were guaranteed a sketch card per hobby box. That all changed with 2022 and 2020. 2022, it got a little bit more difficult to hit a sketch. Well, not more, definitely more difficult because you would only get about four sketches out of a case opposed to 12, but they were still abundant in 2022. Now, 2024 was a set that, we could, and I've talked this with some people that are big into sketches. This set has the most scarce amount of sketches because only artist that had sketches in this set was Nahuel. So Nahuel did 25 original pack pulled sketches that you could pull out of packs that are extremely hard to pull. And then he was given 3 blank APs for the set, which, as far as the 3 APs, is the smallest amount of Marvel Masterpiece APs. And Matt, I know you're well more versed in sketches than me. I'm sure. I believe. I know Dan. I think what Dan get up to 15. I think Palumbo got 10 or 12. I don't know how many. I think Simone got around. I don't remember how many Simone got, but it was more than 3. And then Jusco, I don't remember how many. I wasn't around at that time.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the number of APs they got, there weren't a lot. And I think, the easiest way to look at this set, from my perspective, if we don't differentiate them, is out of all the boxes, there are only 28 sketch cards in existence. And unlike other sets, because he was the only one who got them, there aren't other blanks floating around there. So there won't be aftermarkets. There won't be anything like that. There are 28, and that is the population, and will always be the population.
Yeah. So when we did a stream with Nahuel when the set was first announced, me, Matt, Nahuel, Jose was with us. I forgot who else was with us. If I forgot you, I'm so sorry. My memory is crap. So we did the stream, and Nahuel showed a couple of the APs, and he showed this one that I'm going to show you guys now. And as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. When we got into the backstage, we were talking, and I was like, Nahuel, whenever you decide to let that sketch go, that AP, please keep me in mind. I'm very interested in the sketch. So I've been slowly trying to pick up an AP from a lot of the previous Marvel Masterpiece artists. I've got one from Dan. I've got one from Simone. I've got one from Palumbo in the works right now. Eventually one from Jusco. So it was key for me to try to pick one up. And the main reason that I wanted the sketch was not necessarily the scarcity of it. The scarcity of it is cool, makes it a little bit more rare, whatever that is. That's up to whoever can judge however they want to judge it. But the big thing for me was the character. This is a character I collect very strong, especially in original art, which I said it is Venom. And unfortunately and sadly, there was not a Venom in the main set, which I think that's the first time ever there's been a Marvel Masterpiece set without Venom. And it was a shame because the Venom that Nahuel did on this sketch, when I saw it, I was like, dude, it's the only Venom of the set. There's no other Venom in the pack-pulled sketches. There's none in the set. So that was the main attraction. Even though there was a Spidey, and Spidey's my main guy, the Venom was just huge. You know what I mean? And Nahuel was super gracious. we were able to work a deal out, and he gave me first right of refusal on the sketch. So I'm going to show this to you guys. This is one of the 3 APs, and my lighting is trash. Jesus.
No, I have to get out of the case. The reflection's rough.
Yeah, let me have to pull it out of the case. You're right. I need to work on this lighting
It's the
thing.
same issue I have with these glasses. I got to keep my head.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. All right, maybe that's better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, the details are just so good.
And dude, the lighting is terrible. Let me back this up. You can't even get the. All right, there we go. So I got tilted at an angle like this for you guys to see it. So Nahuel, yo le estaba diciendo la historia, cómo yo llegué a ver el sketch de ti y como enamoré de él. So yeah, it does a ridiculous Venom. So super happy to add that. So then the way that the art was sold, you were to pick 6 pieces up to 6 pieces that you were interested in, and then you would submit them and see which ones you would get. That's the way Nahuel's art reps sold. And there's still a second round of the art sales coming. So for the people watching that would love to get an opportunity at a piece, I know there are some pieces left from the first round, and I'm sure, and I know there's going to be a second round of art sales for his. So that's going to be real special. So I put in for a few characters that I was interested in. I got 2 of them. The one I'm going to show you now was mine. It's no longer mine. A buddy of mine didn't get some pieces that he really wanted. I offered him this piece because I knew he liked the piece, and he ended up taking it. So this is a good buddy of mine, Shane Danton. I know, hopefully you're watching. I've already shown this piece for him. I have to ship it out to him probably sometime next week. But I'm going to show this piece. This is one of the favorites that I didn't have a Magneto in the collection, but when you can help a friend out and hook a homie up, I'll find a Magneto down the road. So this is the original Magneto painting from the set.
It's a sexy Magneto.
Yeah, it's a good one, dude. It's a good one. When I got it in, I was like, bro, Shane, you're lucky I love you, dog. Because after looking at it, I was like, bro, I don't even know. Maybe I would have gotten rid of it, but nah, I know he's gonna be happy with it. He loves it. And that makes me happy. So the one piece that I fell in love with from day one from the set, let me grab this. So some of you guys, people that know me, you can see it on my IG. I'm a big fan of Black Panther. And when I saw the card art for this piece, I just fell in love with it. I had to get it. It was the one that I wanted the most from the set. And this is the Black Panther. The colors on this is just insane.
And Kasser mentioned that earlier in a comment when it came to the Wolverine, and that's really something I think we should ask about. Like, does he use some technique? His colors are super vibrant, and I don't even think you could see that in the cards. Like, I don't think they were translated that well to the cards.
No, they didn't.
See it in person.
Yeah, well, man, you know how that is, bro. Typically, the art on everything always looks better in the art than the publication.
Right, but
like the Panther was darker.
Yeah.
Like the card
Yeah.
was darker. I didn't know there was this much pink and the light pink around the outline. Because here, let me show you.
And just look how it glows, though. Like, so is it? I don't know. Has he got some special like black magic ink he uses or something?
Okay, so like, look. So like, this is the trading card. So this is the base card for the Black Panther.
Yeah,
so you can see some pinks here, but you lose all the pink like down here. I'm trying to get like all down here. It's orange on the card, but if you look on the art, it's not orange. It is pink.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And then you've got the pink outline on the finger. You see that finger, that bright pink? Like, I just love. I didn't have a Black Panther. Well, yeah, but not even my Simone one. He's on next to a river, so he's not in a tree canopy. So just being able to get a Black Panther jumping through trees and just get that kind of color with the sunset in the back and the colors. Seeing the piece in person was just. I was like, dude, it's way better than the digital scans. You know what I mean? It blew me away when I got it in hand. So, Nahuel, muchas gracias. Le
No,
estoy diciendo a ellos que
sí, entendí.
si yo te lo dije a ti del magneto, el amigo mío Shane, que no
Sí,
había cogido una pintura que él quería, yo le dejé que comprara el magneto. El
sí,
magneto es de él, so yo se lo estaba enseñando en el nombre de él.
bien,
Y hablando del Black Panther, como fue la pintura que me enamoré del principio y que quería de
muchas gracias.
todo. Y cuando las imágenes que me mandaste son bellas, pero teniendo el arte en persona en tus manos, día y noche, la diferencia, sí. Y
Bien,
en la tarjeta el arte salió oscuro en los
sí, sí,
colores. Y como enseñé ahora la foto de la tarjeta, salió un poco oscuro el arte. Eso cuando cogí la pintura, una maravilla. Comparada con el arte, es una
sí,
belleza.
sí, sí. Sí, me llamó la atención eso del naranja también. No sé si habrá sido algo que modificaron los mismos de Upper Deck. Quizás
Yeah.
hayan retocado algo. Me sorprende, ¿no?
So I'm telling, like in the card, like you can see the sun there, but the sun, it's not as pronounced because the background has so much orange, and
Claro,
it
sí, sí.
loses the pink and the peaches and the whites and the clouds. So again, having the art and I'm sure Pat, when you got your pieces in,
Oh
dude,
yeah,
and you compare them to the card, you're like, bro, there's no
Dan Knight.
comparison. There's no equal. You know what I mean? It's night and day.
Yeah, just the brightness on the originals versus like they
Yeah.
definitely crank down the brightness on the cards.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nice.
So yeah, no, the art's beautiful, man. I love it. I know everybody that's gotten their pieces. I know some people are still waiting to get theirs in. Maybe we can get a bigger crowd of people down the road and do something else. That would be awesome down the road. Be nice. Once most of the art has already gone to collectors, would definitely be sweet to get Nahuel back on, and I'm sure he would be down to do that. So
yeah, we're hoping for a much bigger gang tonight. But,
yeah, no doubt. Now we had a lot of pieces, fun, good art. That's what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying? So Nahuel, lo que le dije a ellos es que ya cuando tienen la segunda parte de las ventas de arte, ya muchos colectores ya tienen el arte en sus colecciones. En el
Sí.
futuro vamos a hacer otro stream con más gente y hacer una cosa más grande. Si te interesa unirte con nosotros de nuevo.
Sí, sí, cuenta conmigo totalmente. Me encanta ver, ya te digo, el aprecio por el arte que tienen, por el arte que hice. Y nada, enteramente agradecido con vos también, o sea, por todo lo que o sea, me ayudaste también incluso, y la verdad muy agradecido por recibir es un cariño enorme el que siento por esto que hice, ¿no? Así que,
Yeah.
bueno.
Yeah. So he said that he's very grateful and appreciative of everything, showing love and coming and having him on the stream and appreciating his art, man. He said it means a lot to him. So, and he would definitely love to join us again in the future. We can do this again, have more collectors once they get more of the art in. There's still a lot of art that needs to go out. I'm going to see if Nahuel wants to provide us any info. Nahuel, ¿quieres dar un poco de información de la segunda parte de las ventas suyas de tu arte? ¿Cuándo va a ser? Tener una idea para darle algo a la gente que están viendo el show.
Y probablemente, a ver, mediados de mayo. Probablemente sea para mediados de mayo, según lo que me dijeron.
Ok.
también me han preguntado anteriormente y yo dije que iba a ser en un par de semanas y en realidad la información la tienen más mis agentes que yo.
Sí.
Por eso, viste, tengo que tener cierto cuidado por ahí al decir estas cosas, pero bueno, yo, según
Pero
lo que me
vamos a
dijeron,
decir algún tiempo en mayo.
sí, mayo, mitad de mayo, sí, sí.
Okay, he said somewhere around the middle of May, the second round of the art sales for his set will be coming up.
Right?
Gracias por la paciencia. Thanks for
No, yeah, no doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a process for sure. The art sales and everything, getting them shipped out of the collectors, definitely.
Quizás es mejor también para, o sea, por temas económicos, digamos, para ustedes también, o sea, nada, que puedan pagarlo, ¿no?
Yeah. Alrighty, Matt. Do you have anything else, brother?
No, I think we're
We're getting close to an hour, and I figured that's about where we were going to be at. Pat,
Yeah.
you have anything else you want to say, my man?
Well, wanted to clarify for chat. Somebody was asking about the sketch card pulls. And I believe we've only seen one actually, Alonzo, that's confirmed out of the sketches.
I've heard two have been hit, but I haven't seen the second one.
Right.
And until I see it, I believe it. But I've heard two.
Yeah.
I've only seen one. Like a buddy of mine that pulled it sent me the pic.
Yeah.
So I've seen one. I know the Rogue has been hit. So they're almost all still out there, man.
Getting closer and closer each night.
Yeah.
Well, and there was always that question on when they were pulling this together, did they still think they were going to be able to do it through EPAC? So did a bunch of the product never get physically packed out and it's just waiting to be handed out?
I hope that's not the case, man.
You just never know, right? And then it's, you know, we'll see it in 10 years when it walks out the back door. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, the sketches are definitely, I think long term, the sketches will definitely be something important for the set with just the sheer, you know, just how little there is. And if what you're saying is true, bro, could you imagine if like 40% of the sketches are in some box in some warehouse where they just have surplus of like all the, because I'm sure they've got like a warehouse with just surplus of material and cards and product from all previous IPs and stuff. I'm sure they have something like that. I don't think they burn or throw away everything. I know they throw away some stuff, but that would be crazy and sad at the same time, man, because those sketches are hot, man. They are hot.
They'll make their way out somehow. They wouldn't waste. So
Cool. Estamos hablando de que ojalá que Upper Deck, todos los sketches que hiciste, ojalá que todos lo han pasado por producto y están allá afuera, pero hasta ahora nada más hemos visto uno de los 25.
Sí, uno o dos, ¿no eran? ¿O uno solo?
He oído de dos, pero no he visto el segundo todavía. No lo he visto. Nada más vi uno, el Rogue fue el que vi.
Sí, sí, me lo han mandado. No me acuerdo quién, pero bueno, sí.
Son difíciles. No hemos visto otro. No hemos visto otro. Son difíciles de sacar, man.
Llama la atención, ¿no? ¿Cómo fue en anteriores casos esto?
En anteriores, nunca ha habido casos como el set suyo. Todos los otros sets han habido muchos sketches por el producto, por la línea del producto. El set tuyo nada más son 25 y los 3 EPs, that's it. 28. El número más chiquito de cualquier set de Marvel Masterpiece que tenga sketches.
Mirá vos, pensé que eran bastantes. O sea, más, ¿cuántos bocetos había por ejemplo, Dan, cuántos hizo?
Bueno, de cada 12 cajas que tú abres, sacabas 4 sketches.
Mirá vos.
So el set tuyo debe ser 1 en 50 cases. So estamos hablando de un sketch por 600, 700 cajas. I would say somewhere around there, Matt, like 1 in 50 cases.
I mean,
for that one sketch.
We have no idea how many were produced, but yeah,
I've heard that number. I've heard that number, and that it kind of makes sense.
I mean, that would be 1,000 cases, or what? How many boxes in a case? Was it 12?
12.
Yeah,
12.
So 12,000 boxes.
You figure 90 characters, 25 metallurgies, 2 metallurgies per case. You can figure it out that way roughly, minus the loose boxes they distributed.
Yeah, but they were So that's probably
the largest denominator of any modern set for a sketch pull rate. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even
because platinum was a nightmare to pull a sketch, dude.
Platinum had a little over 100 sketches.
Yeah, platinum was a nightmare to hit sketches. So this set, again, we've seen. I know I've ripped more than 20 cases.
Oh yeah,
easy. Like I think that's easy. And I started to hit one. I've already hit 6 101s for homies on Whatnot, and I've not hit a sketch yet. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And 101s are damn near impossible to hit in Marble Masterpiece. It's so hard to hit.
2 101s in one night.
2 101s in one night. Yeah, that was crazy. So, que estamos hablando que es bien difícil sacar un sketch en el set tuyo. Estamos pensando que puede ser uno en 50 cases. O hay que abrir muchas cajas para sacar uno.
Qué bárbaro. Qué lástima. Me hubiese gustado que esté más accesible, que puedan adquirirlo más fácil.
Pero en sí puedes verlo como es una tarjeta muy grande. Si alguien lo saca, un premio que saca uno, alguien, y son más importantes, ¿me entiendes? Porque son pocos, más difíciles de sacar, más importantes.
Sí,
sí, tiene sus cosas buenas y también tiene sus cosas que fuera mejor tener un poquito más de sketches para tener más oportunidad, pero...
Claro. Pero que no sea una cosa también que se terminen resignando y decir, bueno, ya está, no lo voy a conseguir más y no compro más, ¿viste? No sé cómo será.
Sí. Tell him it's very difficult to hit sketches in this product, and he said it's a shame. He would love to see them being more, accessible to collectors. And I told him, that would be, it would be nice. Would be nice.
The good old days.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks, everybody, for chat. And we're, Lewis, as always, the co-pilot, or I'm your
always,
co-pilot.
baby. Nahuel, un millón de gracias por estar con nosotros esta noche. Muchas gracias, man.
Es una muestra de agradecimiento también por bueno, esto que ya mencioné y bueno, muy agradecido por todos ustedes, la verdad, muy, muy contento.
Yeah, Pat, you're a legend. Thank you for coming on, brother. Love your pieces, man. That Wolvie is nasty, dude. Big congrats. And Matt, that kitty, you already know.
Love it.
Looking good, bro.
So we're trying to work on an outro. We'll see if people hate this one. I'm going to try to use it again. So here we go. Don't be a base. Don't be a chase. You are a one of one. So be the GOAT that you are. Thanks,
there
everybody.
You go, baby. Later, guys.